Well, just having a little look at plane flights myself, I must admit that Rolling Thunder guy, Dave Johnson did some videos on this before, and there's been a few other people who have done some decent work on the plane flights, I must say. So just sort of rehashing their thing and just having a look for myself. Always pays to have a look yourself, just to make sure people aren't printing things in, in this world. You never know what's going on, do you? Now, this is very interesting to me. Here are two direct flights, they're saying, from San Paulo. It must be a big runway there, at Johannesburg it is, to Sao Paulo. Because there's two flights at 11:15. As you can see, South African Airways and TAM Linhas Aéreas, TAM, Tam Tams. They're a biscuit in Australia. So the flights take off together and they're both 9 hours 45 minutes. 9-9 idea, 66. Now look at that one there, 1777-1. We won't talk about that too much because that might annoy some people. They don't like the numbers, but I would consider that they've got these things coded. Now, isn't it interesting that the direct flight is 9 hours 45 minutes? How come one stop suddenly becomes 25 hours? Look at that, eh? Isn't that interesting? We go from 9 to 25, 27 hours. This doesn't add up, does it? Two stops. One stop, 27. Look, the extra stop doesn't make any, much difference there either. There's a lot of bogus stuff going on here, isn't there? A lot of bogus stuff. It is 25 hours. Now, there's endless comments saying, oh, somebody flew here and somebody flew there. And then we have Max Egan turn up with a real fake-looking thing. So, the things aren't looking good here. It's looking very, very, very suspicious indeed. And people say all sorts of things. I had a guy say to me he did the flight from Sydney to Santiago and it was 17 hours and they went past Antarctica. Well, let's just look at what that'd mean on a global flat Earth there. Well, this actually depicts what I'm going to say here best. Can't hold that on there, unfortunately. The black thing comes up. But you can see where the bottom of Antarctica is here. You wouldn't fly that far out of your way. It'd make more sense to actually fly right across the top of Antarctica, maybe, because they seem to be opposite on the so-called globe. But you're certainly not going to fly past Antarctica. And he said they're flying over snow for ages. See what I mean here, the shadow of Australia there? See, so it might make sense if it was a globe to fly over, but you're not going to just skim it, as he said, only for a few hours. But what that does, of course, make sense on is our other model, and we'll just look at that idea quickly. Anyway, I saw this guy again today and I said, oh, I reckon you're lying. I reckon it was 20 hours. He was very busy and he went, no, 17, you sure? Anyway, he said he'll talk to me later. But I was thinking that maybe it is possible in 17 hours direct if you're looking at this one here and you're just coming over there and then around like that. And that's what your ice was, the top of America. Like, how would you know? It's pretty hard to tell when you're looking at a plane. Anyway, I have to talk to him further. Now, having a look at that, I just found this image of the Earth because I don't really like that image. This is an interesting idea for a flat Earth too. I mean, this is going to be the big search, is to try and map the world. And anyone who thinks it's going to happen in minutes, and we all should know now. I mean, there's still a fair bit of work to do here, but, it has to be done in a good manner, and abuse of people is never going to be the way, of course. But there's plenty of these power groups out there, and they chuckle and hurling abuse at everybody from all sides of this, because it's all just arranged and contrived, most of it, all those View Club channels anyway. But anyway, I don't know what you think of this, there's how could his flight fit in then? I suppose, you'd just fly, wouldn't you? Oh, shit. You'd fly across like that, skimming Antarctica. So I suppose that does make sense on some sort of idea here. Interesting image, isn't it? But then sailing from, the breakdown of this one, of course, is sailing to America. It's just not right. I know people who have sailed from America to Australia. A lady I used to live with did it in a boat from California, so it's possible. And I don't think they would have gone past Antarctica somehow. She said and they wouldn't have gone this way either, would you? Would imagine so. Sort of, the mystery will be there for a while. But I said the big one is to get the boats going around this way, or planes would be better and quicker on time-lapse photography. Because if NASA do it, they could well pull a stunt like this in the next while. Somebody already commented on my video where I said that point. I think that's a good point. We see what NASA does to stick up for their modelling, so they do know this is out there. And I mean, they would have known this was going to be out there from the minute they put the internet up. Even before they ever did. Like in the 90s, they would have had think tanks saying, well, we'll give people internet. They're really going to start questioning some of their beliefs. And certainly NASA, for a start, and with NASA going down, that sort of exposes a whole lot of other things straight up. Well, that ball wasn't right. Yo Blake spheroid. Very interesting times we live in indeed, eh? Very interesting images everywhere. So I just find it interesting, Don't get so emotional about it, folks. That's a big one too. Try and stop the hate, eh? There's no point either. But we're not going with Max Egan. I was listening to Max Egan. He's pushing all sorts of unity ideas, and then I can't stand that when I hear that. We're never going to be unified either, and don't even think about it. Just, I don't know I don't want to give you any advice for anything. I'll just show you this. There you go. This is the old equidistant map and that. So I don't know how all this fits, but I'll have to talk to this guy a bit more. But I'm sure those flights, they just look so fraudulent. Let's just look it up one more time. Again, 2 flights, both at 11:15, and look at this. The other one is 24 hours. So, gee, a big discrepancy, isn't it? That just doesn't look right to me. Not at all. The cheapest, 7,000 Rand. The quickest, 15,000 Rand. That's a big discrepancy in price, isn't it now? As well. Look at that. So no one's going to take the 945. You're going to spend twice as much money. Okay, it's from what they're telling you, it's so many 16 more hours. Just shows you this is fraudulence in its height. Not looking good at all. Not looking good at all. This one here listed as 43,000 Rand. That doesn't seem right either, does it? Why it's so expensive and it's 24 hours. There's only 15 for 9. But the cheapest, 25 hours, 10 minutes. Here they reckon you get smart value 15 for 9 hours 45. So we just saw those ones, but they'll be the 11:15 flights to shore. 28, 25 hours, 34 hours. How in the hell can it be 9 and then to 34? But look at the price, the cheaper price. So everyone's going to take them. See? I think it's pretty much nuts it up. We'll have a little bit more of a look. Certainly go and look at Rolling Thunder's work. And on we go. As I said, there's a lot of fraudulence here. I can just see straight away. 9 to 25 hours for one stop. That stop is a long stop, isn't it now?